Hi, I'm Wade.
And I'm Lorraine.
And we are
on the off-ramp.
Hey fellow travelers, welcome back to On the Off-Ramp. 2023 was a tremendous travel year for us, and we feel very blessed to have been able to have the freedom and the health to explore and discover new things. Over the next few weeks, we will have a few exciting videos lined up as we're going to share our unforgettable 2023 winter RV vacation in Florida and Georgia. Ice, slush, and snow did a number on our vehicle, and as we headed into Waterloo, Iowa, we ended up with a frozen starter. And it caused further problems down the road, but we'll share more on that a little bit later in the video.
Did you want to do it as a photo? Here's the river. That was like the dam area, I guess. Wow. You get decision fatigue here at Buc-ee's. There's too many choices. I think we end up just buying what we always like for snacks.
Welcome to Florida.
So Wade has to code the gate to get us into the place that we're staying for our harvest host. We were able to get some water here. It's potable. So Wade's going to fill our tanks with water. It's the first time that they've been filled now since winter.
Well, we spent a night in our first harvest host, and it was in Florida, just across the Georgia line. We made it to the beach. It's about 18 degrees Celsius outside. Go jump in. Well, we found a green spot to camp beside, but the larger picture actually shows we are not on a campground. We are boondocking at a Bass Pro Shop, and we were just starting our 2-week travels through Florida with good friends of ours. After a quick one-night stay at Bass Pro Shop, we headed to our first camping reservation for the week with Alvin and Val, and that was at Fort DeSoto Park, and we got to enjoy the water nearby and the beach, and then of course the fort. Fort DeSoto in Florida, built in 1898, I believe it was. It was common to get rid of riffraff, and when the riffraff was around, this is what happened.
Conjugal visits, though.
Conjugal. After leaving the pier of Fort DeSoto behind, we headed back on the road, and our next stop was going to be a few free nights at Water Management District site in Dupuis. And we ended up with a beautiful campsite there and beautiful campground, and even had time for a wonderful hike and just enjoyed the fresh air of outdoors Florida. This campsite here, and Alvin and Val are parked beside us in this campsite here.
So this morning Wade wanted to go out for a bike ride to just go get a look around the campground, and as he gets on his bike, he sees his chain is completely rusted. We have never seen this before, but we're assuming it's the seawater that does it, or the sea air. Now, what do you do about that if you live out here and have chains that get exposed to the sea air?
So it's the 7th of February. Water temperature is 76 degrees. High tide is 11:14, low tide 5:18. Possible jellyfish. Man of war. Great. We get some great visitors to our campsite here. This is that John Prince campground. After a great stay at the John Prince campground near Fort Lauderdale, we headed off to the Keys, and it was our first chance to see the Florida Keys, and we even made it all the way down to Key West. But the exciting part of this journey was free camping that we found through Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome. How cool is that when you get to camp overnight for free on a church parking lot? Florida Keys are not really well known for their beaches, but near our Harvest Host site, we found a nice little park with a beach that we could spend a couple of days at. After a 3-day stay in the Florida Keys, we decided to put on some more miles, and we headed back north towards Rodman Campground. It's part of the Florida State Parks. Nature trail, bike trail, walking time. It's 4.5 miles one distance going to the locks. And the nice thing with Rodman was there were some nice hiking areas and walking areas. It was a beautiful campground. It was affordable, but we were also close to Fort Augustine, and we spent another day in Fort Augustine as well too. Well, we ended up with another beautiful campsite, this time in Juniper Springs Recreation Area. It's a national park. Well, we're saying bye to Alvin and Val. They've been with us for the last 2 weeks, and we have had the best time camping in a long time. It's been so good to have them with us. Sadly, they have to go back home to British Columbia, and off they go. Well, we're doing some boondocking in the Tarpon Springs area, and we found this through Harvest Site and Boondockers Welcome. And there's a few of us that are camped here now. There's that way, and then our lovely background. But hey, we can park here for 3 nights. It's free, we can wander around, and there's lots of others around, so our stuff is protected as well too.
On this waterfront drive here in Tarpon Springs, and what we have learned is that lots of tour shops, but also Tarpon Springs, known for Greek culture, so Greek wine shop right over there.
And sponges.
And yeah, sea sponges. They harvest sea sponges here. So those are 2 things we have learned. But we're heading off to a place called Sunset Beach.
75 south?
Yeah, 275 north.
Okay.
I've got some boiled belt buckles and big knuckles down here. You want a sample of those?
The convenience of traveling in a van allowed us the opportunity to stay at certain campgrounds near areas that we wanted to discover, and here near Sarasota we are at the Breathtaking Hunsader Farms. It allowed us a chance to kind of discover the region and of course spend some time at the wonderful beaches in the Sarasota area. About 28 outside, so we got this great spot to camp at. But we'll be here for 3 days, and boondocking or dry camping, whatever you want to call it. In the trees, nice little spot. There's a trailer from Ohio nearby. Harvest hosts and Boondockers Welcome allows us to stay at sites for free or next to nothing. And with 3 nights set up here, it allowed us to head to the Audubon Park. And we took another hike among the alligators. So just staying locally for a few nights gives us that chance to go out and discover. As we zigzagged our way across the state of Florida, traveling from east to west and west to east and up and down and north and south, we ended up at a campground, Tillis Hill Recreation Area. And I think this campground became our favorite campground of our entire time in Florida. And it gave us easy access to Crystal River, which was nearby. Tomorrow we'll probably take the van out and head over to Cedar Keys. I'll take the bike out tonight, go by bicycle, I'll go to Shell Mound. It's an archaeological dig site. This looks like it could be a good place to come for a seafood dinner though tonight. Maybe we'll stay here for an early lunch, early dinner, and then head back because it's probably pouring rain at the campground right now. So we've ended up with some beautiful campsites over the time, but right now we are in Ochlockonee River Park, Ochlockonee River State Park. Ochlockonee River was another one of those beautiful little state parks. Great bicycle paths, nice sights, well treed, and a lovely place to stay. And from the Ochlockonee River State Park, we started heading towards our next destination of Panama City, where we were at another Harvest Host Boondockers Welcome site. And from there we stopped off at St. George Island on the way to Panama City. Purple and yellow. Purple means singing marine life. Man o' war, jellyfish and stingrays. And rip currents. And this is the sign I like. you're in the water, shuffle your feet while walking in water.
Oh, that's April to October.
As we make our way around Florida, we're in the Panama City area, and we found a nice harvest host boondocker. And he's got this nice big yard with some trees. Makes us feel like we're actually in a campground, but we're camped on his yard. Well, we're in Panama City, and it's time for a little lunch break. We're gonna make some sandwiches and sit here on the pier and just enjoy the waterfront. Gulf of Mexico, Panama City, Florida. Well, our newest and latest campsite is St. Andrews State Park in Panama City, Florida. And we have the lagoon right behind us. The ocean is on the other side, although we can't quite see it from here. Lovely campsite. There's nice new washrooms close by. Well, we have another lovely campsite here again. We are at Henderson State Beach Park, and it's just a beautiful campground. Nice private sites, lots of sheltered growth all the way around. Thunderstorm all day today, and it's just barely stopped raining, so there's our next neighbor across the street over there. Barbecue is going, smokies are on the grill. The beach is about a 5-minute walk from the campsite. So here at Henderson State Beach Park near Destin, Florida. We're staying at another harvest host near Milton, Florida. Just left Destin this morning. And a bit of a cooler day today. It's 15 or 16 Celsius outside. But we've got this beautiful site on his yard. Just a very friendly gentleman. And he's taking us out on his pontoon boat tonight. We're going on a 2-hour sunset cruise.
Another freshwater river coming in right here.
Oh, okay.
So you got salt water that way, and then you got 2 freshwater rivers coming in here, so that's why it's brackish.
And all flowing that way.
All flowing that way. And if you look out on the horizon there, you see 3 buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is Pensacola Beach.
This is our campsite at Fort Pickens. There's Lorraine waving hi from her studio. And we got all kinds of tall grasses in behind us there. A little bit of firewood for a fire tonight. Nice little live oak tree right sitting by us here. And this is our campsites. And this is more of the tenting area, non-serviced area, so we are experiencing non-service as much as we can as we prepare to have an upgrade completed in the near future. It was while we were here in the Panhandle region of Florida that we got a call from South Carolina from Sandra Johnson wondering if we would be interested in bringing in our older leisure travel van to have a new lithium and solar powered energy system installed into our van. Sandra had already worked with many newer leisure travel vans, but wanted the challenge of working with an older vintage leisure travel van and wanted to install a solar and lithium package into our vehicle. So our travel plans of going home started to change, and we headed over to South Carolina. Stop recording. Well, we had a little cold front come through last night and went down to about 6 degrees Celsius last night again. That's about 42 something Fahrenheit, and some rain. And this is our last night at the Gulf Islands National Seashore. So we are heading off to Tallahassee and then making our way over to South Carolina. High Bluff Campground near Tallahassee was just absolutely beautiful campground to be at, but it was also somewhat eerie and creepy. There was only one other camper here, and at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning there was a vehicle that came and kind of parked right behind our van, and that kind of kept me up for a while, so I didn't sleep too well that night. As we slowly made our way from Florida towards South Carolina, our first stop off was in Georgia near St. Mary at a pilot station where we spent a quick overnight. From there we headed over to Fort McAllister, and we ended up staying at Fort McAllister State Park. It was just an absolutely lovely park to stay at, and we again met some just wonderful people here. And of course, if you're in Georgia, you do need to make it just a stop off in Savannah. It is an absolutely beautiful and historic city, and there is so much to see. We spent 4 days in South Carolina installing our solar lithium package, and from South Carolina we started making our way back home to Manitoba. We were hoping to be home by Easter of 2023. On this trip, another new discovery for us was the United States Army Corps of Engineers. They create campgrounds with thousands of recreation areas over 450 lakes and waterways throughout the U.S. And this was the first time we'd stayed at an Army Corps of Engineering campground. Our route back home to Manitoba included a trip through the city of Atlanta. So, well, when in Atlanta, we might as well go and visit the Coca-Cola Museum.
Got it?
Okay, which one is it?
I'm taking the Tanzania one.
Okay, take the Tanzania one.
Whoa, it's too much. Oh, it's a ginger beer. Nope, I don't think so.
We made it to T. Fuller State Park campground in Memphis, Tennessee, as we slowly drift our way back home to Manitoba. And it's a beautiful day today, 23 degrees Celsius. That'd be just over 70 Fahrenheit, somewhere in that range. And we've got a beautiful day today, but apparently tonight the rain and the wind is coming with gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So that'd be 80 kilometers per hour. But it's a nice little campground. The spring leaves are just starting to come out in the trees. You can just see the green coming out. But this is the campground, and this is the forest right beside us. And it's right on the outskirts of town, so it's kind of handy. We plan on spending the day or on Beale Street tomorrow in Memphis, dining out and listening to live music. So hopefully we'll have a good day tomorrow too. A lot of extra noise last night as we spent the night with a few other campers at the Bass Pro Shop. Crazy storm came through and it went around both sides of us. So our campground that we did have reservations at had too many old trees around it. We decided to stay here. Just because of all the trees falling down with the winds and the possible tornadoes. So we ended up staying safe, and we met some new friends from Quebec. These ones here, and these ones here. We were surrounded by Quebecers. It was a good evening of visiting.
We're at a Flying J here in Sioux Falls, I believe, or Sioux City. What are we in, Wade?
We are in Sioux Falls.
And we are winterizing. So they have a dump station here. You can see tiny snowbanks on the side of the parking lot, which means we're heading north and we are heading into winter. So we need to winterize before we go. So we bought our container of RV antifreeze and made sure we had that on hand. Okay. And everything's been stripped and packed, ready to go back into the condo when we get home. And a few bags for when we have one night stay in a hotel. So now we're ready to fill the drains. Well, actually the holding tanks, I guess, with some solution. I've done some in the black tank already.
We're going to be very generous.
Yeah.
And let it flow through. So that it flows through into the holding tank as well too. Just in case there's some water in there, which there probably is.
Okay, so you want to do the folding sink.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned how much I don't like that folding sink, but you know, whatever, it's there. I did the toilet already. And do we need to do anything by the outside shower?
Not for a drain. I have to blow that line clean though.
Okay, so the other thing we were trying to do is blow the line clean. Wade likes to use pressure to do that. Oh, that's our mess. It's always fun unpacking. However, he can't find the tool that he always uses, the nipple end that he uses to.
Okay, this.
I don't know. That was lying on the counter.
Yeah, this is for the holding tank. So I've drained the holding tank.
Okay, the
Okay,
freshwater
so
tanks. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay. There's no water coming out as
Okay,
you
so
pump
that's
it.
clean. There'll be some water in the line. It might be okay.
We're hoping it's okay because we usually blow air through it and make sure that it's completely. But we will have freezing temperatures as we hit Manitoba.
Yeah. How cold is our freezing temperatures?
Well, -6,
At nighttime?
-8, -10. Either way, it's below zero.
So what we should do is find a hardware store. Might have that as well too.
Okay, not on a Sunday though, and it's after
Well, no,
5.
hardware store. It could be like
Okay.
a Home Depot or something.
So we're hoping there's a Home Depot open on a Sunday evening.
Shoot. All right. Well, let's find out. We'll do some Googling.
Yeah, everything's been packed away. That's the last step, is just blowing the airlines out.
This is garbage.
Yeah, that's garbage, and we'll take, and the fridge contents will open, empty at home.
Okay, this I'm going to put in the cup holder.
Oh, this is on battery, the fridge.
Oh, is it on though? Oh yeah, we had it on.
Okay, we'll put on, I'll
But
put on gas.
We can turn it off now, actually.
Oh, we don't even need it on at all.
Not
Okay.
really. What's all in there? Just some drinks?
Drinks, egg salad, ham.
Oh, we'll use it tonight, or it'll stay colder in there, I'm thinking.
I'll just leave it off now, so we can leave it off.
Yeah, or we can leave the battery. Thanks for joining us on this whirlwind tour of a 2-month stay in the southern U.S. Now, if you have lots of questions, feel free to contact us or leave a comment on the comment page. We will gladly answer the questions if you want to know how to get to some of these campsites or where they are. And we'll gladly help you out with that. Just remember, pack up your bicycles properly. Make sure they're all covered so that the snow and the salt from the roads does not affect the change like it did ours. And we look forward to talking to you next time. So next video will be about our travels in Canada for the summertime. Just a recap of the 2023 trip. Until then, hold your plans loosely.